لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك إن الحمد والنعمة لك الملك لا شريك لك لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك إن الحمد والنعمة لك الملك لا شريك لك لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك إن الحمد والنعمة لك الملك لا شريك لك لبيك اللهم لبيك. محمد نبينا بنور هدينا محمد نبينا بنور هدينا.
The National Hajj Commission of Nigeria NAHCON has banned family travels and tours from participating in Hajj and Umrah activities in Nigeria. The company was punished for causing nearly 100 pilgrims to overstay in Saudi Arabia during the 2017 Hajj.
People behind the company were invited to the
Ali Shuti is the head of tour operators unit at NAHCON. He said any tour operator found violating the Commission's guidelines of operations will face similar fate.
This is to serve as deterrent to others and to send a kind of red signal to all those who are planning to involve themselves in carrying overstayers to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, that the Commission will not conduct this act and that the Commission is up to the task for whoever that try to engage in such activity.
Ali Shuti then advised tour operators to carry out their businesses in line with all regulations guiding their participation in Hajj and Umrah exercise. The National Hajj Commission made clarifications on the actual number of pilgrims reported to have absconded during the 2017 Hajj. A statement by the head of media unit of NAHCON, Hajia Fatima Mustafa, says only 5 pilgrims as against the reported 900 absconded during the period in question. A breakdown of the figure indicates that Gombe State has 1, Zamfara State 2, Plateau State 1, and Jigawa State 1. NAHCON urged Hajj officials across the country to intensify enlightenment program to educate guarantors on the need to make proper checks before standing as surety for any pilgrim. The National Hajj Commission of Nigeria NAHCON has been commended for its decision to extend the deadline for registration by intending pilgrims. A non-governmental organization known as Media Awareness Initiative on Hajj, or May Hajj, made the commendation in a statement signed by its National Publicity Officer, Muhammad Kabir Yusuf. The NGO says the gesture will give intending pilgrims the opportunity to make payments against the 2018 Hajj. It urged pilgrims to take advantage of the grace period to make their deposit before the announcement of the actual 2018 Hajj fare. May Hajj also appreciated state pilgrims boards for their efforts in mobilizing prospective pilgrims for registration, adding that doing so will lead to successful preparations. Meanwhile, the National Hajj Commission of Nigeria NAHCON has commended independent Hajj reporters for upholding the ethics of journalism in its reportage of Hajj activities. NAHCON Chairman Barrister Abdullah Mukhtar Muhammad made the commendation in a letter signed by the Commission's head of media unit, Hajia Fatima Mustafa. NAHCON also lauded the independent Hajj reporter for the successful production of its 2017 magazine on Hajj.
The National Hajj Commission of Nigeria, NAHCON, urged all intending pilgrims to seek knowledge on how to perform Hajj and Umrah in order to attain the desired results. To achieve this, NAHCON directs all the pilgrims' welfare boards and agencies as well as tour operators to organize enlightenment programs for all the intending pilgrims from date of payment to commencement of operations. It is your right to be educated on how to perform Hajj and Umrah. For more information, visit guide.nigeriahajcom.gov.ng or send an email to info@nigeriahajcom.gov.ng. This message is brought to you by the National Hajj Commission of Nigeria, NAHCON.
The abscondment rate of pilgrims has been reduced to the barest minimum. That the Saudi Minister of Hajj, Dr. Mohammed Saleh bin Tim, advised other countries to adopt Nigerian method of reducing abscondment cases to the barest minimum.
In an effort to consolidate this success, the National Hajj Commission of Nigeria, NAHCON, is working in collaboration with the National Agency for the Prohibition of Trafficking in Persons, NAPTIP, to intensify awareness campaign aimed at achieving zero pilgrims abscondment and human trafficking during Hajj or Umrah.
The Commission will work within the mandate of the act that establishes the Commission. There are other areas discussed by the NAPTIP, the issue of those who go to serve as housemaids, those who go to undertake jobs of nursing, but not in Saudi hospital, but at home for private work, what they do, and those also that might be engaged in illicit negative activities, which spoil the image of the... So NAPTIP is all out. On the part of the Commission, those areas which affect Hajj, the Commission will collaborate with them to ensure we achieve the aim of zero abscondence.
We work with the NAHCON in order to ensure that no criminal activities is committed during that process. So usually from time to time we go to the Hajj Commission camps across Nigeria to be able to sensitize the intending pilgrims on how to ensure that they avoid criminality and criminal activities. As a nation, we cannot say we are already immune from crime. So much as people are supposed to be of good intention, to be God-fearing, some others have some bad intention.
Pilgrims' abscondment during Hajj operations have adverse effects on the image of Nigeria in Saudi Arabia.
If Saudi gives you 95 slots to go and 90,000 come back, how do you account for them? Because they have not given them visa to go and work in Saudi Arabia. They have not given them a gamma to go and stay. So why do they remain after Hajj? So the slot you get definitely would go down next year. And if care is not taken, the thing will keep going down, and Saudis would no longer respect the Nigerian Hajj mission by its words. Because at the end of the day, the government would be contacted. These are the list of passports from Nigeria of your pilgrims who have no return. And you that are responsible, you want to raise the image and the glory of your country among the Committee of Nations.
Those who abscond do not usually find it easy to live in Saudi Arabia because they are always on the move to avoid arrest by Saudi authorities.
The pilgrim would face a lot of challenge. Challenge of arrest, challenge of imprisonment, challenge of lack of medical facilities because he cannot be treated. He cannot even come out. Lack of also freedom of movement. He cannot move freely. He has to be running here and there under hiding. He cannot even get good food to eat, and he doesn't know anywhere and nobody knows him. And if he's arrested, he can be prosecuted and jailed. And even if he's not prosecuted, the day he wants to come back, once the particulars are put on the system, it indicates that he is an overstayer, the slightest thing would be to ban him for the next 5 years or so.
To stay out of trouble, intending pilgrims are expected to abide by the rules and regulations of Saudi Arabia and that of Nigeria while on Hajj or Umrah. To share ideas on these challenges, NAHCON Chairman Barrister Abdullahi Muhammad Mukhtar visited the headquarters of NAPTIP. He was received by its Director General, Mrs. Julie Okali Donley. The two officers are bounded by a common problem: how to stop abscondment of Nigerians in Saudi Arabia.
And they end up being overstayers.
NAHCON Chairman disclosed how the issue of pilgrims' abscondment is affecting the Hajj operations and the efforts being made by the Commission to end the practice.
Quite a number of people, in the name of searching for better or greener posture, decide if they go for the lesser Hajj, which is Umrah, they want to overstay till they observe the main Hajj itself. And in between is a period of about 2-3 months. So some want to take the economic benefit of not spending to go back again. Their visa doesn't allow them to do that because the visa is just for 15 days, maximum 30 days. And they end up being overstayers for a period of 6 months. When they make up their mind to return, it becomes a problem to us because they will want to infiltrate the Hajj flight and come back with the regular Hajj pilgrims. We try to devise means to tackle that, and that has reduced drastically.
While noting the efforts of the federal government in ensuring that absconders are repatriated, he urged NAPTIP to lend more support to curb this unlawful act.
To solicit your cooperation further so that Hajj 2018 will record 0 overstay or 0 abscondment. And I believe it's achievable. Whatever we need to do to support you, we'll do that. And whatever it takes for us to achieve this goal, we'll work towards achieving it.
Barrister Abdullahi Mukhtar reiterated his call to guarantors to always make sure they stand in for only those intending pilgrims that can be trusted.
We have carried out town hall meetings and sensitization tour across the country where we admonish those that will guarantee or will serve as guarantors for the 2018 pilgrims to be very careful. If you guarantee somebody or you endorse the form and the person overstay or refuse to come back, then the guarantor will be liable for whatever the law provides.
We have to make sure that we prevent
On her
this
part,
evil
NAPTIP
crime.
Director General, Mrs. Julia Okali-Donley, lamented the cases of abscondment under the guise of pilgrimage to Saudi Arabia, promising to lend NAHCON the necessary support to curb the illegal practice.
The Hajj Commission is one of our major partners, and we hope to work very closely with you and NAPTIP together. There's this new dimension in human trafficking that has been going on now, mass movement to Saudi Arabia under the guise of going for Umrah, like you said. Now they come in different dimensions. They claim that they are going for Umrah, they claim they are going for domestic work, and they are also going as nurses. And I also want you to encourage your staff to always report cases of human trafficking anytime they suspect something, uncanny is happening.
She stressed the need for other stakeholders to be part of the campaign.
The airline operators cannot continue to look the other way. When you see underage girls, refuse to carry them. Call NAPTIP. So we need to write again to the airline operators. We need to train the airline operators once more. We need to go back again to the law enforcement agents that are in the airports. Even though we've had meetings with them, we've had trainings with them, it's not as if they don't know what to do. But I am happy you're here today so that I will not be the lone voice in the wilderness.
At the courtesy visit, NAHCON and NAPTIP jointly set up a committee to create massive awareness campaign among pilgrims, work with the Saudi Arabian government to repatriate absconders in a very coordinated manner, and ensure that guarantors to pilgrims who abscond produce them.
And the essence of the committee, which we can refer to as a technical or special committee, is to ensure that we bring in all ideas we can gather together in order to be able to put in preventive measures, protective measures, investigative measures, and if possible, even measures that we can use to be able to apprehend some of these people who are trying to spoil the work of the two agencies.
The National Hajj Commission of Nigeria, NAHCON, urged all intending pilgrims to seek knowledge on how to perform Hajj and Umrah in order to attain the desired results. To achieve this, NAHCON directs all the pilgrims' welfare boards and agencies as well as tour operators to organize enlightenment programs for all the intending pilgrims from date of payment to commencement of operations. It is your right to be educated on how to perform Hajj and Umrah. For more information, visit guide.nigeriahajcom.gov.ng or send an email to info@nigeriahajcom.gov.ng. This message is brought to you by the National Hajj Commission of Nigeria, NAHCON.
محمد نبينا بنور هدينا اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك.
Intending pilgrims across the world are expected to set out for Hajj from the month of Shawwal, which is the 10th month in the Islamic calendar. But the rites that characterize the Hajj takes place within 5 days, starting on the 8th and ending on the 12th of Zulhijjah, the 12th month of Islamic calendar. What are the rites to be performed by pilgrims on each of these days? Why is the day of the Arafah referred to as the day of Hajj?
The Hajj itself will start on the 8th of Zulhijjah.
On Hajj Talk tonight, the worldwide chief imam of Nasfat, Imam Muhammad Maruf Onike Abdulaziz, provides answers to these and other questions. He begins by explaining the concept of Hajj in Islam.
Hajj is one of the pillars of Islam, one of the 5 pillars of Islam that symbolizes the unity of Muslims, that symbolizes the oneness of Allah, that symbolizes the brotherhood in Islam, that symbolizes worshiping of Allah with your body and with your resources. Hajj is one of the ways that Allah has given us to clean us of our sin. Whoever goes on now, Prophet says, whoever goes on Hajj, he will come back like the day he was given birth to by his parents. It's a method of spiritual cleansing. It's a process of spiritual cleansing for Muslims. It's an opportunity for Muslims to go and appreciate the brotherhood, the unity in Islam.
Hajj proper begins on the 8th of Zulhijjah. What then are the rites usually observed by pilgrims on this day?
On the 8th of Zulhijjah, you take your bath, spiritual bath, and you leave your house and move to Muna. It is expected, it is hoped that if you are doing Tamattu, you will have done your Umrah before then. You now move to Muna. When you get to Muna, it's a camp that has been designated for that purpose. All Muslims, all pilgrims will assemble there, regardless of your status, regardless of your tribe, regardless of your race. And you are going to be there on that 8th of Zulhijjah. Immediately you arrive Muna, you start sorting your prayer because you have become a Musafir. And you get ready for Arafah, which is to come up the following day.
The 9th of Zulhijjah is the Arafah day, and it is called the day of Hajj. Why? And what must pilgrims do on this day?
On the 9th of Zulhijjah, midday, everybody is expected to move to Mount Arafah, Jabal Rama. When they say Ukuf Bel Arafah, Al-Hajju Arafah, Hajj is standing on Arafah, on Mount Arafah. If you perform Hajj, if you do any other thing and you don't stand on Mount Arafah, you have not performed Hajj. If you miss that is the fundamental thing that any pilgrim must do. God forbid, if one is sick, it has to be rolled. He has to be rolled on a stretcher to Mount Arafah. On Mount Arafah, you go to Mount Arafah midday and you combine your Surah and Nasri. You do two rakat. One adhan to Iqama. You are going to be there remembering Allah, praising Allah, praying to Allah, giving glorification to the Almighty Allah till sunset on that night. When sunset, you leave. You move to Muzdalifah. Muzdalifah is a city, is a town, is a plain ground between Munna and Arafah. All of us will still be there, we will camp there, wearing the same white clothes, and you observe a Maghrib and a Isha. Maghrib will not be shortened because this will be, regardless of your status, it is to be observed in complete number, while Isha is shortened.
On the 10th, pilgrims are to pelt the Jamara, shave, slaughter animals, and if possible, perform Tawaful Ifada.
On the 10th of Zulhijjah, you have to move to Jamara. Jamara is where they have pillars symbolizing Satan. Symbolizing. You have Alilu Akilu Road in Kaduna. You have Marua Garden. You have Abibi Bridge. That is not where they stay. It doesn't belong to them. You use it to symbolize them. That 10th of Zulhijjah, you throw stone at the big one. There are 3 of them. That Kubra, we have Kubra, we have Usta, we have Sugra. That Kubra, you throw only 7 stones at it. And you make sure there's a bowl. Make sure that your stone drop into that bowl. Only 7. When you get back to your tent, you shave or cut your head, your hair. You can do either. Prophet says, may Allah bless those who shave their hair, who cut their hair 3 times. And he said, may Allah bless those who shave their hair 1 time. You have the option of either shaving your hair or cutting your hair fully. The women are just to take strand of hair, not to shave their head completely. After shaving your head, the next thing is to kill a ram. These 3 things I've mentioned, shaving of head, killing of ram, throwing of stone at purpose, can be done in any order. Because somebody went to the Holy Prophet and he said, I've thrown stone before shaving my head. Prophet says, no problem. Another person came, he said, I saved my head before throwing stone. Prophet said, no problem. Somebody said, I killed ram. Prophet said, no, it could be done in any order. Number 14 that is done on the 10th of Zulhijjah, if you are permitted, is to go to Aram. By going to Aram, if you go to Aram again, to go and do what you call Tawaful Ifada. Tawaful Ifada is compulsory for every pilgrim. We have 3 tawafs. Tawaful Kudum, Tawaful Ifada, and Tawaful Wada. Tawaful Ifada can never be compromised. If you do Tamatri, you must do Shai. But if you do Kirana Ifrad, you have done your Shai before. You may not do it again.
The pelting of the Jamara continues on the 11th day of Zulhijjah.
On the 11th of Zulhijjah, you go and throw pebbles again. But on this day, you are throwing 21 pebbles. You are going to throw at Kubra, you are going to throw at Usita, and you are going to throw at Sugra. 7, 7, 7. Just say Bismillah, Allah Akbar.
It is also the same on the 12th. And with that, Hajj rites are completed.
On the 12th of Zulhijjah too, you do the same thing. After doing that, go back to Mecca. When you get back to Mecca, you get ready for journey back home. Before you go back home, you do what you call Tawaf al-Wada. That is Tawaf of bye-bye.
What is the position of Islam when pilgrims decide to stay in Muna up to the 13th day of Zulhijjah?
Quran says, there's no sin upon you if you move early or you move late, or you move late. What he's saying is that instead of having 49, you can have 70. On the 4th day too, on the 5th day too, 5th day of Bimina, you now throw another 21 stone at the purpose. Those who are spending 4 days, we just throw 49. You want to spend extra days. Maybe you have gone extra day, maybe you have gone on your own. Because if you have gone with an agency, you will not leave you alone. They have to go with the group. There's no sin in doing that. It's allowed in Islam.
Imam Ma'aruf advised pilgrims to have the fear of Allah and also seek knowledge on how each Hajj rite is performed.
If you are going on Hajj, the first package, the first thing you will load is the piety. That I'm going to serve Allah is not for tourism. I'm going there to get reborn. I'm going there to get strengthened in faith. Number 2, provide for yourself in terms of materials. you don't go to Hajj and start begging. Provide for yourself, provide for those who are going to leave behind. If you are indebted, Hajj obligation is lifted from you until you settle your debt. If your way is not pure, meaning that if you are encumbered with debt, Hajj obligation is not for you now. About how to perform Hajj, it is, you are not doing yourself any good. You are not doing yourself any favor if you spend about ₦1 million for a particular thing and you don't do it well.